And we're live, pal.
Let me do it again.
Let me do it again. We're going to do it one more time just for the folks at home. And it looks like I did it right. It's me, Dr. Harley Quinn, and I don't know how to introduce myself, so I'm going to pass it over to Dylan.
Hi, I'm Dylan. I have a channel, Dylan from somewhere, and I do stuff over there. Sometimes it's funny. Sometimes it's really funny.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
can tell by all the personality I have of just how funny I am. So I'm looking forward to talking about Breaking Bad this evening. We'll see what tracks we get off on, and I'll try not to talk too much about Saul because I love Saul too. I love Lamp.
I love lamp and I love turtles. So you know who else loves lamps and turtles? Uncle Jack. Introduce yourself. Uh,
Are you
Uncle
muted,
Jack,
sir?
you might be muted because we don't hear you, or you got bad internet.
You are going only
50,
about 2 frames per second.
yeah, you got that 56K going on. So Uncle Jack, how about this? If you can hear us, drop out for now and see if you can't get to a better internet connection because we can't really see you. So can you give me a thumbs up if you can hear me, Jack? Okay, yeah, drop out and try to get like a better internet connection and then like rejoin. Okay, there we go. All right, it's just us. Now we can talk trash about Jack for 2 hours. It was really a lie.
Yeah, Uncle Jack. We saw him starting in season 5 of Breaking Bad. Best that maybe he doesn't hear all the things that we have to say about him and his operation.
Yeah, Jack and his illegal meth operation and his ties to, something that has the initials of WS.
I was a latecomer to the series.
Yeah.
My cousins told me about it. Like I didn't know what the hell AMC was doing. They started doing. I remember it was like silent films. Well, not silent films, but the talkies and the old shit on American Movie Classic. Until they're
Yeah.
like, we want to make money now. Let's buy up this from Vince Gilligan. Let's buy up that Walking Dead over there. So it wasn't until Netflix season 5.
Okay.
Season 5 I watched as it came out.
So let me
And
ask you this. Did you start watching at season 5 like a random episode and go, oh, this is good, and then start from the beginning, or how did you discover it?
it was on Netflix at that point by the
Uh,
recommendation of many people. It was
mhm.
like just watch this, and it doesn't stop. It just goes. There is always a crisis in every single episode, and I almost want to say, jumping ahead, the fly wasn't much of a crisis, but
No.
it was to Walter. And I was so
Yes.
surprised to find out that there was such a huge controversy about that episode, like years and years later. Like people love it, people hate it. To
No.
me, every season we got a Walt and Jesse episode.
Yeah.
The second season when they were out in the desert, we got that
4 days.
classic.
Yeah, that one's called 4 Days Out.
And they got no battery. What do they
Nope.
do?
Yep.
That's where the classic line comes from. What is this?
Wire.
Wire.
And they didn't have such a cute kitty like I saw crawling around in your background to keep them company out there in 4 Days Out. Uh,
The cat, he would try to jump in and catch the fly. It's their natural instinct. Kip Smith is on the F the Fly episode. But to me, I'd been conditioned to get a Walt and Jesse episode. All I wanted was more Gus. I will say that. Gus was in full swing. And
yeah,
when the fly came on, I wanted more Gus. And they gave me this complete diversion that I was okay with because I'd seen it before in season 1 with Walt and Jesse just together. Season, I forget what season 3 was. Did they have one where they were just together in season 3? But the dynamic of those two just together for an episode, just all right. it's Walt and Jesse. What are they doing that pisses each other off?
Mm,
And let's do it for 45 minutes. Go. Write down your
go.
ideas.
Yeah. So like, well, I'll start from the beginning with me, and oh yeah, you got that extra task today because I'm having some kind of tech issue. I can't see the chat at all, so you might have to help me. Oh wait, there it is. There's Matt. There's Matt and Kip Stiff and Serenity now. Woo! It's going well. I wonder if he's referring to Uncle Jack's
That he dropped that when Uncle Jack had his connection issues.
when he's ah, but like, all right, so and thank you all for tuning in from the Twitter machine. Those of you that are stopping by, I'm not falling for the trap of thinking that when I check this out after the show and it says I had like 100 views, that 100 people were watching me live at one moment. I know it's just like it just means 100 people randomly clicked on it. Plus, I have like 850 followers that share some of my cough beliefs, and they're probably going to check this out of sheer curiosity of like, so the clown has a show now or stream or whatever. So, and I don't expect any of them are going to stick around because I'm not exactly go to church on Sunday type of guy. So I'm going to jump in with how I discovered the show. Like, it was kind of like yours. It was on Netflix, and I kept randomly hearing about it. Every time I would go to like Circuit City that was still open at the time, I would see that cover and I'm like, God, it's the guy from Malcolm in the Middle in his underwear holding a gun. New kink unlocked, but I don't think I'm interested in watching this show. And but one of my coworkers who at the time was like, he's an edge lord like me. He's like, I know it doesn't sound like something you'd ever be interested in because he like kind of broke it down, like, teacher with cancer, and he's trying to concoct a plan to like get money and get money quick before his soon at the time thought soon to be demise. But then he was like, but he has a special needs son that walks around on crutches. Like, yeah. I was like, okay, I'm in.
Do you see Kip Smith's opinion of Walter Jr.? That's what got you in. What was? Oh, there's a yeah kid. He's got it mildly. In real life, he has it even milderly. But they did choose a kid that had the. What does Walter Jr. have?
He had
other than retardation.
Didn't he have multiple sclerosis or?
Okay, it was multiple sclerosis. That's what I was thinking it was.
And just like how you roasted Bimmy in his book for trying to say words that he shouldn't, that was a word I'm never going to try to say again. Is my jaw is not going to cooperate. but
Kip Smith rooted for Walter Jr. to, and he was the most useless character.
Oh yeah.
You heard that? You heard there's a Jimmy. We have a second Jimmy on television. Very much.
What's for dinner? That's all I remember him doing is going to breakfast, going to dinner, listening to headphones in his room when he was being emo MS. You can go back to talking about me now. And well, I mean, he did get a pretty decent chokehold on Walt in that one episode when the knife came out, the episode where Walter stole the baby.
I imagine season 5, the writers, as they're wrapping things up, and they look at the overall arc, they're like, "Fuck, we forgot to do anything at all with Walter Jr." There's that whole Flynn thing. But we really didn't do anything with Walter Jr. in these 5 seasons, did we, guys?
Yeah.
The Chakotay problem, the Balana problem from Voyager, of these great characters that, as we're wrapping up, it's like, oh, goddamn, we just sat them on the shelf and didn't do much with them, did we? But I was fine with not getting much Walter Jr. because Walter got a real son. He doesn't have this fake son anymore, no. Pinocchio. Fake son, he got a real boy in Jesse who can walk with his 2 feet, and he's a fuck up, except for what Walter guides him into. The old captain, we're putting cayenne in the meth. Well, no cayenne.
No cayenne. It's going to be pure. No, no. It's like that's my signature, yo. I will say that this is because we're gonna segue all over the place. I was like, probably the only Skylar moment that I ever liked was when she went she went to confront Jesse because Walter lied and said, "Oh, Jesse, he sells me weed. That's it. That's how I know him." And she chose to confront him while he's trying to cover up the dead bodies. And he has the gigantic makeup covered black eye, and she goes something like, "Stay away from my husband, yo." And she just
This
does
is
the
Skylar White, yo.
him.
Walter White is my husband, yo. Much better than the Marilyn Monroe "Happy Birthday, Mr. Boss" scene.
Okay, now we just jumped ahead, but that's one of my most hated scenes of all time because I've always hated women being sexy and singing the "Happy Birthday, Mr. President" thing. Ugh. LeMayo, really? That's epic, says Norm. Norm, are you talking about when she said "Happy Birthday, Mr. President"? Or are you talking about the
Or
hilarious
Walter
yo
White,
scene?
yo. Stay away from my husband, yo.
No, you are correct, sir. That was epic. That was her one. I mean, I can't really think of anything else, but that one cracked me up. Just like finally, someone is making fun of those people.
Oh, I see. There's epic trolling going on with our fellows. The epic, it felt epic throughout Breaking Bad. They just, you know what's fun? Actually, I was going to go in one direction, but Vince Gilligan switching gears. Jesse was supposed to die. Even the first
Yes.
episode, Crazy Eight was supposed to just die, but they were like, we like him. Let's have him around on set for a couple more weeks until then we kill him, and it'll be this whole moral thing. Let's write it into the script. So being able to pivot, both when they see something in the plot and just because we like this guy, we can do more with this character,
Oh yeah.
even if it is him just running into a tree. And that was one of the early uses of music that I
Yeah.
noticed when Crazy Eight is stumbling around, and then he sees he sees Walt and runs into the tree, and it's a very I think it was like a soul or a Motown tune that was playing,
Mhm.
and as soon as he hits the tree, "Baby, I'm falling for you." Very fun, very nice there.
Very nice there. Oh, hey, beloved chatter. Thanks for stopping by. And he agrees with us. The happy birthday shit was hack. God damn, I hate that scene more than anything. I have to mute it when it comes on. I'm like, oh, when I see the birthday party happening, like Ted, hurry up and blow out the candles. I'm like, mute and look away, and don't look back at the TV until I think the scene's over. And that's gonna be yeah, that's my contribution to that. But yeah, their use of music was really creative because they didn't go for anything, I guess, hacky by like just sticking with like, what's popular at the moment. In fact, I don't think they played one single song that was hot at that time, like, from 2008 and 2012. They picked lots of random stuff before and after, and not really a whole lot of like
Maybe when they
hit.
released the Cars, I forget what obnoxious song. It might have even been original, but I remember the music just being loud and obnoxious
It was
during the car
it
scene.
was it was like, and it may have even been, God, I don't know, but it was like a Skrillex song. But hey, I don't know. You're talking to the wrong guy here. I'm death metal Johnny. I don't know nothing about no Skrillex.
And I'm actually like very critical of music in movies and TV. A lot of people try to do what James Gunn does with his
Oh
movies, with
yeah.
the Suicide Squad and Slither and all those, and you can tell they're just trying to do that. like the original one. The studio saw Guardians of the Galaxy and said, turn the original Suicide Squad movie into that, and just didn't. It does feel like he's got that proper touch, Vince Gilligan, to like Crystal Blue Persuasion.
Yes.
Everybody knows it's Wendy.
Yeah.
The original songs, the episode that begins with what's the mariachi band singing? It's it's like
the
the
Breaking
theme
Bad
of
in Mexican. Is the Spanish version? Well, not really, not a Spanish version. It was a Spanish song about Heisenberg.
there's so many fun uses,
Yeah.
and um the going back to the characters that are
Mhm.
made just this one out of necessity. Mike Ehrmantraut is a character because they weren't able to get Saul in that day. He was busy. He's on a lot of things. I think it might have been How I Met Your Mother. I feel like I remember hearing that they'd booked him and they couldn't get him. Shit, we need. All right, then we'll get a cleaner. If we can't get the lawyer
Yeah.
there to do the cleaning, the lawyer has a cleaner.
And from various interviews over the year, that the cleaner direction, they didn't explore it as they originally were going to. They ended up shifting gears almost immediately. They were gonna kind of go in the direction of politely ripping off the cleaner from Pulp Fiction, but they saw a better use of Mike Ehrmantraut almost immediately. So
Once
that
you get
didn't
him
get
on set,
explored. Yeah.
yeah, they let it grow from there.
Mhm. And I mean, and him being just one of the strongest characters of just all time. And to think it's like they made such great use of, if we just talk about characters in particular or actors in particular, you think about the entire cast. Like before the show even existed. I mean, maybe I should take a few more seconds to think about it. Wasn't like the strongest or most well-known actor of all, Saul Goodman, because everybody else was very middle of the road.
Bob Odenkirk
Yeah,
was he was definitely established in the comedy world at that point. Yeah, the casting of Mr. White, of Malcolm's dad. What the hell are you doing? No, and everyone else was a complete unknown.
yeah. It's like Jesse was apparently in a remake of like Last House of the Left, and I didn't even remember he was in the movie. So I was like, again, who the hell is this guy? I never heard of the MS kid before in my life. Skylar, never saw her in my life.
She's yeah, shows up in things, but like as the
Yeah.
sister, as the friend. I don't think she had a leading lady role of note at all.
Hank and Hank's wife before the show, I'd never seen them in anything. I mean, we ended up seeing Hank in a lot of shit after the show, but just my perspective, I never saw him in anything. The actor who played Gus was in some Spike Lee movies as a like kind of a minor character. So that made him becoming such a humongous character that's going to be known for the end of time. Like nowadays, if someone says Face Off, I don't think of that movie Face Off anymore. I think of the ultimate conclusion of Gus Fring's life.
What's fun is so many of these actors were just bit character actors.
Yes.
Both Bryan Cranston and Hank, both those actors were in Little Miss Sunshine. Hank, I believe, as a cop once again, because fucking look at him. That's that's what you cast him as. Mike Ehrmantraut, seeing that actor pop up. He's in a fun episode of Tales from the Crypt with Corey Feldman, where they both play dopey assassins. There's Star Trek. Seeing him as an alien being in Star Trek, just on the other side of the wormhole in Deep Space Nine, where your machine can bring us back to life. We can kill the other people all over again. Yay!
And a lot of people don't know this, but the actor that played Mike Ehrmantraut was in Airplane. He's an air traffic controller of some sort that had one quick scene in it, and he actually had a little bit of hair.
I haven't seen Airplane since I watched Breaking Bad, I believe, for the first time. So I'm gonna have to look out for him there.
Oh yeah, you'll be able to tell it's him. You'll be like, man, he looks so young but old at the same time, because those boomers just had a rough life. He might have been 30 years old, but he was like J.J. Dillon in the sense it's like he's kind of always looked 50.
And Giancarlo Gus, he's just an absolute superstar now.
Oh, yes.
He's just commanding. Well, pretty much everyone is commanding a lot of money, but he's just all over the place. If like, be the bad guy, please be the bad guy in Star Wars. I know we killed you on the Mandalorian before, but be the bad guy on the Mandalorian again, so we can kill you again.
And what's the it's the Wild West robot show? What's that called on HBO? I'm not saying
Westworld.
it right. That's it. Westworld. Yes. He was in what, a couple of seasons of that, and wasn't he also a bad guy in that? But I that's out of my wheelhouse. I just kind of knew that he was in it. But yeah, I mean, to me, it's like this shows in a sense, it's like somehow they picked all of these actors that are very, very minor. Bob Odenkirk, in my opinion, he was the highest of the food chain. He didn't even come in until season 2, and it just worked. If I was ranking the seasons, I think a lot of people will agree with me here. It's like the weakest is the first season, and it's not exactly weak. It's just that season 2, 3, 4, and depending on your perspective, 5A and 5B, or some people call it 5 and 6. Those are just so A plus 100%, nothing wrong with them at all. It's kind of, I feel bad saying season 1 is the weakest season of them all.
It's in my last watch through, I actually stopped because at some point I didn't know where everything goes wrong in season 5, but I'm like, this is gonna start being stop being fun just completely. I watched the train robbery, and then I was like, I know it's coming. I don't know which episode it is. I forget where we are, but I don't want to see it. I don't
wait. So let me clarify. Did you not finish? Have you still
on the rewatch? I watched it all the way through, but on the rewatch, I know what's coming, Hank. I know what's coming. I don't want to see it. And the other one, what hits me even more than that is Jesse's Girl. That classic song. Let's switch to that. I wanted to talk about music now. But when he tries to escape, and they're like, you see what happens? Wow, that one hits me most of all, because
Jesse's just right out there. He's right out there. Oh, I can't see him. Poor Jesse. It bothered me. Like, that's another thing. It's like, I guess we could talk about El Camino. That's like, I don't know. El Camino was fun, I guess. But
El Camino is a fine little extra chapter addendum.
Yeah,
I only watched it once. Why can't I think of his name? I love the Disappearer. He was in a whole lot of stuff.
He was also someone from the not Pulp Fiction universe, but you know what I'm trying to say.
Jackie Brown.
Director, yes, Jackie Brown. He had been in just a little bit of everything for his whole damn life. His name is
Robert Forster. I just needed a couple of moments. I always say his name in that accent because it's just so wrong to be a New York father of Peter Petrelli in that accent. Every other thing, though, I absolutely love him in. And El Camino, I enjoyed seeing him in there.
Yeah.
but I felt like it didn't stand on its own. I was
Me.
just imagining someone just watching this, and I'm like, this is a great little accompaniment, a little. I was going to say like a short film, but it's a feature length. Here's a little extra drama before our one happy ending happens.
Mm. Yeah, I don't know. It's like when you if they were trying to wrap up a lot of loose ends, they picked the wrong loose ends to try to wrap up with that movie because none of the extra stuff that they covered in that was stuff that was like really like baking on my mind. Like what did Jesse go on any any adventures with Opie during the time in
Jesse rode off
imprisonment?
into the darkness. It wasn't the
Yes.
sunset; it was the darkness.
Yeah.
Ah!
Ah!
Did you watch that live on AMC
Yes, I
when it
sure
aired?
did.
Did that scene not get fucking ruined for you with the trailer for Need for Speed coming right after that?
No, yeah, you memory unlocked me there. That was like, oh god, that was almost as bad as like, what was it, uh, Jericho and that indie wrestler having that
Oh,
pizza.
the Pizza Hut.
Yeah,
It looks like parody. If it exists of Jericho and a garbage wrestler cutting each other with a pizza cutter. Let's go to commercial, and here's a pizza cutter, Domino's Pizza.
have some Domino's pizza while you're at it. I'm like, Jesus Christ, it's like, could you time that any worse?
But that's the movie that he made. It was his first starring role. He's gonna be picky, but not overly picky in his first starring role, and he probably didn't know that's how Breaking Bad ends when he filmed that movie. For that great scene to be like, yeah, Jesse, look, there's Jesse. He's in the video game now. That's
Yeah.
where he took the El Camino. He's racing for pinks, and there's his car now.
If you wanted to like combine the universes in a sense and like just lie to yourself that said Jesse drove out in the darkness as fast as humanly possible to now enter that universe of the Need for Speed universe and
That's what it looked like.
that completely forgettable movie that I think a lot of big Breaking Bad fans like myself ended up watching, buying. I mean, I have the Blu-ray over there, and
I did
just like
not.
blah,
Uh,
you know.
nope, didn't give it a chance. Uh, I've it's El Camino. I actually waited years and years to watch that, and somehow I basically stayed away from spoilers. Once I saw it, yep, yeah, it's there. Todd's evil old Todd.
Evil Todd,
Just come and help me. I got this thing.
come and
She
help me.
found my hidden money. I had to take her out. Help me clean it up. No, she was great at her job. She just found my money.
Yeah, and there's extra characters that the two guys that were like almost like buffoons that were pretending to be cops that were at Todd's apartment after Jesse got free and all that. And Jesse was going back there to try to find that money so he could get disappeared. And those guys were there. And it's like, it to me, it was like, okay, they're showing these guys in almost like a comedic light. But then there's a backstory to these new characters that we're never going to see again, ever, ever. And it turns out that like the one guy used to have long hair, and he helped come up with the caging environment that Jesse was trapped in, where they forced Jesse to run back and forth on that chain.
Vince Gilligan does like to tie up those loose ends as much as he can, which is actually opposite of The Sopranos.
Oh yeah,
If you ever heard about the David Chase, they were one of the writers were talking to him about having a scene with the Russian and Paulie Walnuts and Christopher. There's the fucking Russian. Holy shit, he's gonna goddamn kill us. And him just looking blankly at him, and then he turns his head to his now deformed missing head. It's a and the fans would love that. And David Chase was like, we can't give the fans too much. No. Forget about that Russian with the head blown off. Forget it. Where Vince Gilligan, he is down to give his fans service like Wendy would.
Oh yeah, like Wendy would. But like, and we're talking about Wendy from this universe, not Wendy that's part of sort of kind of part of our Dabbleverse, not that Wendy.
Everyone knows it's Wendy.
Wendy.
What a great! I think that opened up an episode, didn't it? The
Yeah.
music video of Wendy just getting Johns, and supposedly they say the trivia is some real John drove up trying to pick her up that day.
Well, like you know how I am. I say memory unlocked. Like I can't remember if I told you this. I gotta think I have told you this by now, or anyone out there listening. But I did the Breaking Bad tour, right before the pandemic in 2019. I got a lot of great pictures of it, but it shows my real identity, so I don't think I'm gonna be showing them anytime soon. But like I went there right before, and one of the places that was not on the tour, but you could find in like 3 seconds was the hotel that, Wendy hung out at. And if you recall, the one that Jesse stayed at with Wendy while he was waiting on getting arrested. Uh, and, uh, and when I went there, I went there, and that establishment totally knows that they get everyday tourists coming in, taking pictures of it and all that. And they're not really annoyed by it. But I was there and I was hanging out probably a few too many minutes just taking pictures. Well, that's the fucking pop machine where Wendy got the root beer before she slung it at the car that drove away without paying her. And guy come out that was working around the counter. And he's like, you're taking pictures on you're doing like a Breaking Bad tour. He's like, yeah. And he's like, I ain't trying to run you off, but let me just make sure you understand. This place is a real life. He didn't say it in these words, but this is a real life crackhead hotel. You might get fucked up if you hang out here for too long. So
there's a reason that they don't put it on the tour, but you do get to see. What is Pollos Hermanos? Cluckers?
No. Twisters. I have a ton of pictures of that. I got to tell you about. I got to this because this is going to be the Breaking Bad episode, and I mean, so I got to tell you about that. But yeah, I was like, oh shit, thanks, dude. Thanks for giving me the heads up. And I could tell he wasn't fucking with me. And no, there were crack fucking heads walking around. I didn't get a picture of it because I was getting out of there in my rental car, but there was someone doing that fentanyl bend over thing. I was like, okay. Worst parking lot I ever driven into my life was like driving on the moon's surface. And so, but I took out the extra insurance on my car from the actual ABQ airport where, Walt gets picked up. You brought a meth lab to the airport. I was at that airport. But anyway, back to, I can talk about that in a minute. But I did go to Twisters, and that was part of the official tour. So they know that like half the fucking people coming in from, Breaking Bad. And that place.
And we've got food that you could buy. People, buy some food from us.
And it's good. It's not bullshit. I just picked something random off the menu. I thought they missed a lot of opportunities, at least at that time. They did not give any of the food like cute Breaking Bad names or anything like that. They all just chicken enchilada. They couldn't call.
They've
something
got their established brand.
Yeah, I was like, come on, guys, take advantage of it a little bit because they're in on it because half the store is decorated in Breaking Bad stuff. They're not just putting up with Breaking Bad tourists. They're embracing it. Like there's a gigantic just like what you saw on the TV show, there's a wall there where it's got the, Los Polios Hermanos, the Hermanos brother chickens, doing that side by side, you know, arms together thing. And
Los culos,
Los,
hermanos.
Los Culios. And they have a fake meth lab set up over in the corner right by the pop machine. And it has this. And this book that they weren't taking any care of in 2019, so it's probably completely destroyed by now. But this like gigantic book, the kind that your grandma would have put pictures in, that kind that goes click. The binder. You know how the binders
Photo album.
Click. Yeah, you see, you're getting used to how I forget the names of like common everyday things like photo binder. So in that photo binder was like 10,000 like behind the scenes photos that the people that worked there took, and autographs galore. It had pictures of like the behind the what do you call it? Again, getting stuck. The actors with no line, the extras that work there getting ready and putting on, their Los Polios clothes and stuff like that. A lot of just cool stuff. And Vince Gilligan wrote this big, long, like thank you message to the store there. And the food was really good. I ended up eating there like 3 different times on my week there. Now, here's something that didn't make it into the show. And you know this because you've been doing background acting work and stuff like that. You know how like the real life location and what makes it onto the show is 2 different universes. Like they'll film something like a 7-Eleven gas station and
interiors and exteriors, forget about it. Absolutely disconnected.
Completely. Now, but the
interior, sometimes the same building. Yeah, absolutely could be the same building. Well, that's actually something that some of these deep divers point out, that they have a set of the White House. So if they couldn't finish up at the actual location, all right, we've got to stay a day back at the studio, back at the warehouse. So just break out the fake white living room. We can't get into the real white living room.
Yeah. Now, the interior of Twisters looks exactly like what was on the show. That's not saying that they still didn't use a set. I mean, that's common too. So yeah, it's like we like this, but we're not going to fuck up the real location. We'll just go.
Now, there is a real location that keeps getting fucked up with a pizza.
Mm-hmm.
You fucking animals.
Which I was at. I went there as well. And by the time I went
and
there,
it had a big old gate constructed around it at that point, didn't it? Because you fucking animals. Stop throwing pizzas on my fucking roof. I've lived here for decades. Stop throwing pizzas on my fucking roof.
When I went to that location and got pictures in front of the house, the owners of the house, I was told by the tour guide man, the tour guide manager, who was also an extra on Breaking Bad, and he showed me his reel and all that.
That makes like, sense. Yeah. That's logical why they have someone that was there, and an extra. He lives in Albuquerque. He's not getting that consistent extra work from Breaking Bad anymore. Absolutely, I'll be the tour lead.
Both him and his wife were extras in the background. The first time you saw the offices of Madrigal over in Germany, I believe is where they're from. It was
Madrigal in Germany, filmed right there in Albuquerque.
Yeah. But they portrayed a couple of executives walking down the hall, and they like, that's us. And that's why we do this fucking tour, because we're making money. But when we got, they told us like, all right, now the owners, they gave us the spiel. It's like the owners are sick of us. They're sick of the tours. We are going to stop here, but we're only going to be here a couple minutes. So get your cameras ready, because we're here 5-10 minutes tops. And so we all got out. It's like, don't be dilly-dallying trying to be perfect, because they might run out and give us the old, I'm calling the cops if you don't get out of here routine. But
they have a gun.
I believe so. They did not show it, but for some reason they seemed like they were in a pretty good mood. For my tour, I got out and I got posed real good to where you could clearly see me beside of the house and everything. And they were sitting in lawn chairs just waving at us. They're just like, "Hey guys, how you doing today?" I was like, "Oh, they're in a good mood today." It's like, okay, we got lucky. Uh, but yeah, there's a giant gate around their house now in real life.
I, I recommend people watch in order. So
Yeah,
I love Breaking Bad. Even I mean Saul, Better Call Saul. I love even more than Breaking Bad.
yeah,
But the first season is so slow moving, and
it's slow, guys.
in general,
Oh,
it's a lot of storytelling, and it takes a while to get there. Whereas Breaking Bad is just breakneck speed from episode one, the very first shot, the entire time. So just as far as like tone, it builds up. Like to me as a nerd, I love what they do with the very long takes and what they do with
mhm.
the camera in Better Call Saul. But people, even talking to people that missed some of the storytelling that's nonverbal. Once again, going back to Crazy Eight,
Yeah.
like the early episodes are what hooked me in. As I mentioned with the sound cue with Crazy Eight, I was like, "Oh, that's an extra little fun thing you did there." And after Walter kills Crazy Eight, and he got his whole backstory of
Yeah.
like, he got a daughter, huh? Same crib. I'm probably the one that rung you up at the register.
Oh, yeah.
Then at the end of the episode, they're panning over, and you see the crib with the family name on there to
Hmm.
really be like, where your daughter sleeps, you will be reminded every time of the man that you killed.
With a bike lock. and and if
Plate
Walt
versus bike lock.
yeah, and if Walt wouldn't have killed him with that bike lock, then he would have been killed because we established that, you know, Walt passes out, the plate breaks on the ground. He wakes up later. He ends up, basically putting the broken plate into the trash. And then later in the episode, when he's about to make the decision of like, letting Crazy Eight go because he's believing what Crazy Eight's telling him about more or less. We're gonna let bygones be bygones with this. If we can just let this go. And Walt digs through the trash and starts putting the plate back together, notices there's that one giant sharp piece missing, and it was in Crazy Eight's pocket, just waiting to be let free. And that's
The
yeah.
the list that Walt had of reasons to do it,
Mm-hmm.
reasons not to do it. It's wrong. And then the list of reasons to do it could kill your family. He can recognize you. He could do this, and the reasons to let him go. He was gonna let him go too until he found the plate.
The plate,
No,
the plate,
the
yes,
plate, the
the
plate.
plate.
A little midget was yelling it at him.
It's like, where's Ricardo Montalban? Well, oh, this'll work. The plate, the plate.
I do not think that you are Ricardo Montalban.
But yeah, and then you find out in Better Call Saul, that Crazy Eight was in the beginning he was just some pussy low level meth dealer, nothing happening, pushed around easily by everybody in the organization. And so if you get rewarded by watching Better Call, that's just one of the many rewards, is getting in the filled in backstory of Crazy
The
Eight over the years.
the very first throwaway line, well, not very first. Once they go to Saul and they're like, we would like you to be our crooked lawyer,"
Yeah,
and he's like, "This seems like a setup." Just kicks him out, and then when they abduct him, "Oh, no, it was Ignacio
he's like, no,
Lalo." Uh,
no,
the, the
it
and they
wasn't
bring those
me.
back to eventually be two intensely memorable characters from Better Call Saul. That Yeah, we've got that. hanging loose. Even it was I believe a Make-A-Wish kid that Vince Gilligan met with and was talking about the gray matter, the rich couple. We
Oh yeah.
haven't seen them. It would be. I'd like to see what's and that actually kickstarted their minds to be like, yeah, we should visit them again here in this last episode, tie up a few loose ends.
Yeah.
And most of the loose ends was just Walter threatening them.
And we're just assuming that they took it to heart and they're going to do it, but but it is good. They did, I believe, left it completely ambiguous as to what exactly the split was with gray matter, to leave it up to our imaginations. Like what I imagined was happening was, Walter was with the woman. What was her name? Gretchen, I believe.
Yeah, Walter and Gretchen we saw together in
Yes.
the flashback where they were calculating everything in a human body, and that point, whatever percent, that's the soul.
That's the soul.
As
And
they're
my
melting down Crazy Eight's body.
and my interpretation, and that's what I think part of the fun was. I know it was intentional. I can't prove. I'm sure there's an interview out there, but I think they wanted us to dream up what happened with gray matter in our own eyes. And I dreamed up that Walter and Gretchen was together, and at some point Gretchen fell in love with Watts's face, and when they broke up, Walter was so heartbroken he didn't want anything to do with any of them at all, even as business partners. So he took that measly $5,000 and he went on to become a very low paid teacher, and they went on to become billionaires.
That's what my mind filled in the blanks with too. His pride would not let him stick around. He will not be cucked every single day of his life with his two business partners. One former fuck partner.
But kind of an. I mean, I kind of got to wonder this too. Maybe it's a time heals all wounds thing, but I hold a grudge. I don't think I would ever be going to the birthday party of the man that stole my girlfriend, even if it's been 20 years, even if I'm married and have a kid and a kid on the way. I just don't know that I could go to their birthday party and give them a gift.
That and that was pretty much almost all their. Oh, Gretchen got one of they got on AMC. I think the deal was they were allowed one unbleeped fuck per season,
Yeah.
and Gretchen got that very intense guttural fuck you at the dinner table or the lunch table, breakfast, whatever the fuck they were meeting at.
Yeah. Yeah. And that was still season 1, wasn't it? Or was it season
I
2?
I think that might have been season 2, because that was the money issue had come up by then. So yeah, that was the money was incoming. What's up with the money? It's from Ted and Gretchen, and then they left it off at the fuck you. They're not going to pay anymore. What's the deal? Why aren't they going to pay? And
They're broke.
Walter wove up a lie. He didn't need much time. It's all for show. They don't have the money to help us.
Which is a good lie, and it established something with, we kind of understood already Walter's a pretty good liar, but I think that scene right there was like cement. Like, Walter's an excellent liar and can dream up something outstanding on the spot if he has to.
Much better than that. You know what? That second phone, it must have been my alarm. That's what it was.
Oh, yeah.
That second phone, she was not going to take any fucking bullshit about what it could be, because she knew goddamn well what it was. It was a second phone that he revealed. Oh, that's right. That big breakup happened. Leave. You had your surgery in that pink fucking shirt.
Yeah.
Vince Gilligan loves colors. So
yes.
there, that It's not red. He's there in the middle of being a bad guy with his bright pink fucking shirt, being told get out of the fucking house.
And that was something that was established by Vince Gilligan and crew over the seasons. Like you go back to the first season, and Walter's wearing a lot of greens, and then starting in like second ish season and onward, the greens get darker and darker until like the last season, where a lot of times he's pretty much wearing all black to try to like just try to like sell you the image of Walter's metamorphosis from like I'm a good guy, just have bad things happen to me, until he's finally a bad guy that's doing bad things for bad reasons,
including poisoning a kid
yep.
for manipulation.
Which is I mean, again, I think that was part of, I mean, I know this is sounding morbid saying for fun, but like, how the hell did Walter do it? That's the thing that I'm wondering, because nothing was ever said about how he actually pulled it off. I mean, I'm imagining maybe Walter broke in the house and found some obviously kid food and maybe sprinkled it in it. That's just what I dreamed up, because they never said anything like Walter stopped by and was like, "Hey, kid, I've got a candy bar for you. Here you go. Well, see you later."
I pictured that Walter got it on a fishing hook and mixed it with other treats and just hit him in the head while he was in the back of the yard with his reel.
But yeah,
And then once he got it, it just reeled it in. No evidence.
no evidence. But that was what they always were. It's like, how did he pull it off? And that was going to be a question for later, because I know how we time travel back and forth. He meets with Lydia at the table to get the 10 names, and he's going to get those 10 names, and he's even kind of like, it's like, what do you think I'm going to do right here in this restaurant? Execute you the second I get those 10 names. And well, we know what happens. She ends up selling him the idea. I was like, no, how about this? It's like, you'll get the 10 names, but how about we become business partners? And this is what we can do. Sell it to I think she said the Czech Republic, yada, yada, yada. And he's like, and he says, learn to take yes for an answer, Lydia. Now give me those 10 names. She gives him the 10 names, and she gets up and leaves. And it turns out Walter he had some ricin under his hat. So
Chekhov's ricin. That was they had that they made that to take out Tuco, and
yeah,
it was hanging around
yeah.
for all those seasons, and you figured, okay, the kid got the ricin. No, it was the heart of the daisy, whatever it was, that the more common plant that
Lily of the Valley was the
Lily of the
plant.
Valley that he poisoned him with. That whole searching for the cigarette scene that he quickly put it in there. And
Oh,
our buddies, the goons from Saul. Like Mike Ehrmantraut wasn't a goon; he was a fixer.
he was a
But
fixer.
you get to the other guys; they were goons. You get to Bill Burr; he was a goon.
But it turns out it's like, how do you say his name? What's his damn name again? Now I'm blanking on him. It was a Bill Burr's character, and what was the other character's name? Not Shmuel.
It was Kobe and
Kobe. And, oh God bless.
and I
I'm gonna
just
have
watched
to.
some of Saul. He just popped in and did his great little pickpocketing things.
It's like I'll be Huel. It wasn't Shmuel. Sorry, Shmuel Buckman, if you're out there watching. Who Shmuel has asked me to come on his show in the near future. Not to be confused with Shmuel Buckman, but Huel Babineau was his name, and it turns out Huel is a pretty slick pickpocket, and that's how they made the switch, and you can go back and watch the scene where Jesse is trying to get around Huel, and you can see where, if you on the rewatching, say, that's where they did the switch. Uh, so he actually had some use other than sleeping with his eyes open.
He made it back to Saul. Had a big. Bill Burr got too big for Saul.
Yeah,
Huel, they were able to get back in a regular role. Bill Burr, he became a big old actor. Couldn't come back at all. That scene where they're just laying on the money.
yeah,
They're hired to go and bury Walt's money out in the desert, and I think Huel does it first. What are you doing? Just lying on the millions and millions of
yeah.
dollars before they go through with the job.
Yeah, and Huel goes, Mexico, that's all I'm saying. And
Actually,
then
the first time we saw him was that when they were trying to rough up and get the money from Skylar's boss, and he fucking necks himself, fucking
no,
cripples
no, no.
himself by trying to run away.
It wasn't that dark of an introduction to those characters. They were introduced separately before that. Bill Burr's first appearance was as the city official going to the car wash that had the earpiece in while Skylar was in the car, feeding Bill Burr all those lines about, well, this water, it's violating code, blah 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 blah. So Skylar can get that car wash at the sweet price that she wanted. Huel, I think,
I
was
was
just introduced pretty boring.
Well, I do believe that Dr. Harley may have just lost power, judging by what we're seeing there. I do believe I'm still on, so we will just vamp for a little while. Fun little still that we've got that on. Huel, yeah, maybe he was more of a boring type of introduction, just sitting there. That's what it was, just sitting there in Saul Goodman's office before. Hi, folks. Before he actually had something to do, the the uh, the way that he puts himself in a halo from running away, it just one of the more hilarious cripplings that we've seen on television. Um, we haven't talked about Badger at all. Badger, the boys of our buddy Jesse Pinkman were very entertaining as well. I do remember Badger's introduction. Skinny Pete and poor combo. Skinny Pete, he survived as Tuco's crazy ass Tuco's cellmate, and Skinny Pete was able to broker the deal between the cartel and our buddies. I'm starting to get annoyed by the glare in my glasses. That's why I don't wear my glasses often. No matter what I do, you get a glare. Jesse was trying to get a job. He was in his suit, and he thought that he was going to be put in the office on the floor of some lawyer's office. No, 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 no. You're out there. It wasn't a lawyer's office. It was loans. Badger was dressed up in some stupid costume. Hey, man, how's it going? You got some crystal? And Jesse tried to cook with Badger. Didn't quite work out. But did Badger shoot at him? There, Jesse left him stranded out in the fucking desert. His doof buddy well, he kept throwing away the crystal meth. You do that in front of a meth head, what do you think's going to happen? He will try to fucking murder you. I've I I don't have any fun memories of Skinny Pete. Combo, the one fun memory of Combo. didn't think a kid was going to shoot him in the stomach. Of course, that led to the whole downfall of Jesse and Walt in general. The fact that Gus's guys were using kids to sell drugs and do their hits. So that's that was really the thing that undid it all, because they were ready to take Jesse out, and then Walt had to save Jesse, so he ran down the cartel guys. And after that, Walt was a marked man. They all the he did take the heat off of Jesse. Jesse, Jesse was going to kill him. That's right. Jesse wasn't a marked man yet, but the fact that he was going to kill the drug dealers, that was going to sign his death warrant. So yeah, it was either Walt or Jesse. Someone was going to kill the drug dealers that night and sign their death warrant with Gus Fring. But Jesse ended up being quite the henchman's little helper with Mike Ehrmantraut. Of course, they set it up so that he would be a nice little helper to Mr. Ehrmantraut, not actually in danger through the drug pickups throughout the day. That's right. He was being the bagman. Was Gale coming back at that point? We haven't mentioned Gale. So many just rich characters. We could go on for so long and absolutely miss some of these rich characters, especially when we get off on some of the lore of the show, which absolutely stopped being fun. Beloved chatter. Let's cut to brass tacks. Do you think Badger and Skinny Pete were fucking? So Skinny Pete spent time in the clink.